You should be able to
He
come off
came up.
mute,
He
man.
came up to just be admired by his presence. That's it.
Oh yeah, is that what's happening? How's 2026 going, Josh? You just felt left out. Awesome, awesome. All right, couple announcements, right? Like ending up this boot camp. Listen, man, like these Wolf Tank presentations, right, have been decent. They've been good, right? A lot of work's been put into them, right? You know, like I wish all the best. Um, Looking forward to the graduation. We need to go on and sit down and review the script tomorrow for the graduation. And start the next class, right? Like this is what is this, class number 5? Seen plenty come, seen plenty go, I've seen plenty stay, I've seen plenty make money, I've seen even more, you know, find themselves in the market, right? At the end of the day, right? You know, like not like I'm teaching anything different. It's not like we're doing anything different, right? Like I'm just proud to be part of this community and proud to, you know, help you guys with what I can. So I look forward to closing down shop in 2 days with this class and starting a new one on Saturday. And you know, we're building, you know, the academy to be more of a, you know, automated thing, and then we'll see where it takes us after that, right? But let's let's get it. I got no other announcements. Austin, you got anything?
We had a really successful. I think we've been really consistent at this, and I've really been enjoying having the. It's like I guess it's to build on top of the people that do the wolf tanks. You know, we're calling it sergeant's time training. And it's just once a week. We have a pack member or a group of pack members. Like this week, we had two battle buddies, Max and Hessel. We did that today at 2 p.m., where we just take what you guys briefed in the wolf tank, and then we just build on top of it. Right? You guys are going to take your wolf tank briefs, like what Ape's about to do today, and I'm sure in a month, 2 months down the line, with the feedback we provide with him today, maybe it's a little bit different or a little bit changed or whatever. And then where do you go from there, right? And that's where the sergeant's time training kind of thing is, where the pack trade group in and of itself, it's a continuation off of what you guys do in the boot camp. It's to build on top of the basics you learn. So sergeant's time training is just for that. Like when you feel like you're ready to now have a little bit more nuances refined, or you want maybe just a little bit more help with data collection or a little bit more help with understanding whatever, that's what that's for. So we had a really cool time with Max and Hessel today. So if you guys that are either in the pack trade group now, or if you guys join the pack trade group once you graduate, that's an added thing that we're adding on our weekly battle rhythm, our weekly schedule of what I want to do. We already have the rest of the month booked up for January. We got Benjamin, we got Stacks, we got one other person for January. I forgot your name. And then we already got Tiffany on the schedule for February. Kenny just shot you the link a couple hours ago. He wants to get on the schedule for February. So we already got February booking up. So if you guys want to get on the schedule, just make a support ticket and we will get you. Other than that, I got nothing else.
Sounds good. Before we go into the thing, this next wolf tank, right? Like I do need to brief like the update that happened last night. So last night we pushed the update to the daily profiler. So you will now be able to use, if you're trading Asia, you'll be able to use New York 1 and New York 2, the pool probabilities of Asia. If you're trading London or early London, you'll be able to use New York 2 and Asia to pull probabilities for that, right? Your P12 for these overnight sessions will be from 06 to 1800 the previous day. And yes, we are tracking. We're going to put the OUs back here and then put session highs and lows. And then this site will be complete. And like from a candle science approach, right? Like for the candle science website, there we go, right here. We're working on the 3-hour line in Apex and quarterly extremes. So that will be coming out in the next month or two, and that'll be getting put on the Candle Science website. So that, and then this will be updated and complete. So then at the end of the day, it's not anything else. Like we're in maintenance mode, right? Other than a couple Monte Carloses and stuff that will build from that, like this side of the house will be complete, closed down. We're gonna do some improvements on the academy this quarter, as in like automating it and all that. And then who knows what's next? I've heard some rumblings of some pretty big stuff, but like at the end of the day, none of that fucking matters if you're not making money, right? Like if you're not making money, like let's get you to the point where we're making money, all right? So, all right, with that being said, today's man, like these Wolf Tank presentations have been phenomenal so far. I kind of like miss doing, I still have to do my reengineering. It's just I do it later at night. But man, like I'm loving them so far. So now we got Alpha Pro. What is going on here? Like, guys, like, what do we want? Like, this is Alpine's time to freaking speak. What do you guys need?
I'm just here for the ride, bro. I don't know what you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
god.
Oh, get out of here, dude. Gone. Josh, what do you need, bud?
You beat me to it.
What's up, Josh? You just really hanging out?
Dude, I am dying right now.
Me too, man. All right. With that being said, like, all right, Alpine, how's it going, dude? Like, can you talk? Let's get you a test run. You show your screen, all that stuff.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
Nice. Okay, just give me a second, please.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen now?
We can, man. Before we start, oh, nice 1300, 05 box, 1 minute strategy. Something other than the 930. Keeps it alive and spicy. Cool. All right. Hey, man, how was the boot camp? Tell us about yourself, where you come from, what kind of trading strategy. Like, give us what was your aha moments in the boot camp, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Like, let's get some feedback before we jump into it.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm 45 years old. I'm from Venezuela, but I'm living in Argentina right now. I've been living here for 11, 12 years, maybe. I'm pretty new at trading. I just started last year. Pay the fee that, all new person pays, gave my money to Furu. Was a nice guy, but he didn't teach me anything. I found the bootcamp on X. I saw a post from Austin, and it resonates. And sounded like he knew what he was talking about, and he actually does. And I remember I sent him a DM, asking for the bootcamp, and he answered me like 3 days later, maybe because his Wi-Fi sucks. But
Whoa.
No, bro just came up swinging.
He came up here and said, "Listen, I'm Abe, and screw you, Austin." All right, keep going.
but he was really nice in explaining what you guys do here, and I just patiently waited for it, and then I joined. And it was like really eye opening, all the bootcamp. For me, you know, um, funny thing that today I'm doing my wolf tank, and I blew my evils on the same day. But anyways, bootcamp was eye opening. The way you explain the things, Mick, it's really 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 good. How to read live price, is something that has helped me a lot. Phase one, for me was like really eye opening. Every phase, each one of the phases were really good. Phase one, because I learned from the basic stuff, and it was very good for me. It really helped me to understand how things kind of work. Also, the tools you guys have built with the developers are incredible. Phase two was like, also I really enjoyed it because realized that negative R can be really good as a strategy. I didn't know that, to be honest. And phase three also has been really nice. I just had the courage to, buy my first evals. I lost them today, as I said before. But I was I did a really hard job back testing this thing, and I think I have a really nice one strategy going on here. I just need to follow my rules. I have my rules and I didn't follow them, and I paid the price.
Oh,
But
listen. There's two types of people in trading. Like at the end of the day, when the dust settles, right? There's the theory librarians, right? And there's the people that actually make money, right? And it's not that neither one is better or worse. As a matter of fact, like I'll put it to you like this, right? Somebody dumber than you who hasn't put as much work as you have as is making way more money in these markets than you are. And the only separation is that they're more disciplined than you,
yeah,
right? You have to make a choice, right? Like, are you going to stick to your plans or are you not? And if you don't stick to your plans, then guess what? People that haven't worked as hard as you have will make money and you will not, right?
yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, it
That's right.
happens, right? Now, if your plan is to, like prop flip or do anything like that, then you should be comfortable losing that account, right? But I don't think that's the route you're going, right? You actually are trying to be a trader, right?
Yeah, totally.
All right, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but honestly, like, it's the nature of the game, man. You're 45 years old, dude. Like,
Yeah,
it's gotta, like, it's gotta stick, man.
yeah. I know.
Was
You
that
know what's
what? Was that your first? Was that your first one ever, though? Like, this is your first account
yes,
ever? Oh, this is
yes,
perfect then. Listen, man.
yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
let,
It is.
let it be a lesson to you.
But yeah, totally. And what's the funny part here is that I was like finishing this really basic presentation because it's really basic. You are about to see that, and I was writing my rules and all that, and I was like, okay, I'm a fucked up, man, because
Yeah.
I know what I need to do, and I didn't do it. So,
Yep.
anyways,
Hey, man. It
um,
happens. And don't beat yourself up over it. Like, like when I break a rule, which happens all the times, right? Like I do something extreme to fix that, right? I don't sit there and woe is me. I don't give a shit, right? But I do something to fix it, right? Something extreme, right? Whether I run 2 miles that night because I know what the rule was, and the only thing I can do is like physically fix it. Like, but like when I break a rule, like there's like I freaking get after it, right? Like I don't dismiss it lightly. I know all these people say talk general about yourself. Fuck that. When I break a rule, when I'm undisciplined, like dude, like it's game on, man. Like I owe myself 200 push-ups, like a 2 mile run, right? Like I'm doing the Murphy's challenge, something, man. Like is like what you old for that, man? Like we're not kids anymore. Like
yeah,
that's it, right? Like now, make sure you like don't hold it lightly. Like if your kid walked in, took your wallet, snuck to the store, bought a pack of smokes, smoked them, came back, handed you the wallet. You're gonna let them get away with that? No. Like, don't let yourself get away with breaking rules. It's a contract, man. You write a contract with yourself, right? The problem with trading, and you're gonna learn this as you start, right, is that on a desk, professionally, hedge fund, capital, whatever, you break your rules, you hit the door, right? Or you overtrade, or you like breach risk parameters. Like you got a risk manager to like pull you in and make you go talk to the site cord and all that. Like retail trading, y'all ain't got it. It's you. You're everything. Like you're the person who provides the capital. You're the person that places the trade. You're the person that smacks yourself on the wrist when you act like a tard, man. Like you're that person. So make sure you hold yourself accountable because I've seen this story play out so many times. People try to talk general on themselves. They're like, oh, it's okay. We all break rules. It's trading psychology. No, it's not. No, it's not. And
yeah,
guess what? Those
yeah,
same individuals are on Twitter saying they're the best traders ever, cherry picking trades and still haven't collected one payout. Don't fall down that trap. All right. All right.
yes, sir.
And no, I digress, man. But it's good that you did it, right? And like,
Yeah.
I applaud you for the transparent and honesty that you had coming up here and just saying, "Hey, got my first account blow. It's my presentation day, and I just blew my account." Right. So we're gonna move past it. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's never telling
Okay.
us again. Every time you blow an account, you better tell me now.
No. I will. I'm total transparent. I like to be that way. Either is
Absolutely.
if it's a good or a bad news.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, oh, can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes. Okay. The objective is explain the strategy logic. Present the optimal risk profile I found after my back testing and my mechanical execution. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a 1 minute strategy out of the 13-hour O5 break box,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a lot of back testing for this. I back tested like the whole 2025 from January 6th to December 19th. I think I back tested April to June from 23 and July September on 22. So this is the results I got with the strategy. Also, I'll talk about it later, but I don't take every breakout. I just need some context, that needs to be aligned with the what's going on that day, basically with the daily profiler and the high of day, low of day, and see if I have like support and resistance zones that are can allow me to use or breaker or some of that. It's not just the breakout. Take the breakout. Okay. So this is the result for the total samples. There were almost or well more than 300 attempts.
You did almost 300 samples.
Yes.
Dude.
All right. This is pretty awesome, dude. So let me
Yes.
make sure I can read the data correctly, right? So I see the SQM, the MCL. So on the attempts, right? That's attempt 1, attempt 2, and then the target tree by percentile, right? So I know that this 0.10 target happened 81% of the time, 0.15, 71. Okay, I can see it. All right, keep going.
Okay. So this is like the last year back testing. I took the VBIX from the whole year, the range of the VBIX. These are my results. Well, they pretty much the same thing with the auto sample from 23 and the bear market. And it's very basic, but this is what I'm going to do, or what I back tested.
Go back to your other slide
Yes.
before you get into the risk and trade part. So go back to
okay.
your in sample, out of sample.
So
I don't want to gloss over this. So
which one do you want to see?
So any of them, right? What did you learn?
Okay.
What did you take away from, before we even get into risk and all that, what did you take away from the main points of your in sample and out of sample? What are the highlights that are important to you that the in sample and out of sample confirmed?
Okay. VBIX, when it was like higher than 110, my results were not that good. Even though I didn't have like many consecutive losses, but it was like real. I don't know, like win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss. It was like up and down. Also, every day when I was back testing, I realized that my entries needed to have this context I mentioned before, and also that I needed to take maximum two attempts in that hour, and the entries needed to be before 1345, because after that, my stop loss got hit every time. Or not every time, but most of the time.
And then what is your you know that there's a basic accuracy within a range of time, and that's what you just said. And then you also seen the importance of the volatility, that how that affects the performance. Now,
Yes.
what about the accuracy? So if you go to each of these different samples, so just scroll from the first portion of your back test and then just go through them slowly. Do you see any correlation with consistent strike rates? So like let's take zero point 0.2 to 0.15 for example. Like you have 0.15 target at 78.2% strike rate. So now let's go to your other scroll to your other back test samples. So here is this another one. So here's another one at 67. So now we have a sample that's showing 78. We have another sample that's showing 67. Go to another one. We have another one here showing 82.61. Okay, go to the next one.
Yeah, that will be all.
Do you have which one was your
Because-
in sample? I'm sorry. I seen out of sample twice. That's your in
Yeah,
sample.
this is in sample.
In sample is 67, and then your out of sample was 78, 82, and then what was the other one? You had three, I think.
Yeah,
78.
78, 82. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had
Yeah,
three.
the
Okay,
other
cool.
one is just, the summary of all of them. But, in sample is 66, and out of sample, 78 and 82.
Okay, cool. So this is what I want you guys to, when you're doing this in sample, out of sample, right? These are the little things that I want you all to connect to. Is I want you to see, okay, first off, what's my end goal? So what is and I know you're going to get more into it, so I don't want you to just answer it now. But first and foremost is start with the end goal of what am I trying to actually do with this move? Is it just a cash flow move? Is this a move to take advantage of an expansive move? Is this a move just to do both, to be dynamic, to scale out of it at cash flow and then let some ride? Like, what is the overall end goal? And then of that overall end goal, what are the things that I need to pay attention to get to to get the end goal? So if a part of my end goal is to cash flow a portion of the move, okay, cool. Then I need to pay attention to the cash flow portion of this movement and see if there is consistency within the in sample, out of sample. So if my cash flow move is, let's just say 0.05 to 0.15, okay, well, is there huge differences in all of my in sample, out of sample? So if my in sample is showing 67% accuracy, and then I go to one of them and it's showing 45, and then I go to another one and it's showing 72, it's a huge gap. You have an in sample of 67, and we're just doing the 1.5 for an example, and then you have a couple out of samples showing 78, 82, and then go to your overall summary, the one that you just said it shows the total, and you have an overall summary of 71. So I would ask you, is a 71.67 super different than 78? Right? Honest question, is it super far off? Is 71 super far off than 78?
Not really.
Not really, right? Now, could we get a little bit more objective and do a standard deviation of the data or a plus or minus? Absolutely. But I just want to touch on that so that way you really see these are the little correlations and the differences we're trying to see is what's that range of consistent statistics. And same thing for the MFE, same thing for the MAE, all this stuff is what is the consistencies? What is the portion of this data that you collected that is just bang on consistent with the least amount of variance between your in sample and all of your out of samples? Does that make sense?
Kind of.
So, and what I mean by that is just in a very simple way, whatever these targets are that mean the most to you with whatever trade you're trying to get with this 1300.05 break, you want to see if there's a lot of consistency across all the different ones. So like
Okay.
same thing for the 0.1, you have 81.9. Okay, so I would like to see plus or minus maybe 5 to 6% deviation above and below of that 81. So like if you do an out of sample and that 0.1 ends up being, I don't know, 62, that's a large percent difference of 81 versus if it was like,
Yeah.
let's say 75. Okay, that's that's within the margin of variance that we can expect, and that's something that's good for me, right? If it's super different, maybe that's something just very specific to that time period, or maybe there was a lot of volatility or something that contributed to that huge outlier of difference. So if it's very
Yeah.
consistent, if those numbers are very, and this goes for MFE, strike rates, profit factor, any of these metrics that you collect, you want to look at those with a magnifying glass and see if there's extreme changes between your in sample and your out of sample. That is the value in what you did. Okay. And you have a lot of data here, so that's why I'm really harping on it, so you understand the value that you have on your screen right here.
Okay. We'll take that into consideration.
So one thing I want to ask
Yes.
you is like, so for the second attempt, will you walk me through the process of the second attempt, right? Like, so obviously we got
Yeah.
stopped out of the first one. What was the if thinking statement that got you into another for this sample?
Okay. Well, basically, I'll take the second attempt if the price tells me to do that, if I see it clear. It's not like I always do it, and only take the second attempt if I get stopped out the first time. Just
So does that mean like
if
you went long in Q1 and then it just ended up putting the high of the hour in? Now you got an instant high and we're breaking out of the low
yeah
in Q2. Is that kind of stuff?
yeah. Actually, one of my rules is that if the price, breaks 0.1% right away, I don't take the breakout immediately. I just wait for the price to come back to the 05 and get a new
Yep.
one. So basically that's one of my rules. And when I take the second attempt, it's because I get stopped out the first time, and price give me the I don't know the word for this, I'm sorry. Price like show me that I have that I can make a second attempt. If not, I don't take it, which is why I didn't follow today, and I just went crazy
Yeah.
and started to take everything.
Yeah, man, it happens. You're gonna do better tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because these second attempt numbers, without looking too detailed, look somewhat decent, man, especially for the 1300, because I know the 1300 really well. Now, because the 1300, right, is usually a false time for the New York 2. That's why I wanted to know what that is. All right, sounds good. You can move on.
So based on all that I got, for a 50K account, I decided to risk $400. And once I make a buffer of 1,500, increase my risk to 1%, maybe a little bit more. And if BBX is higher than 110, I should reduce my risk. My cash flow will be at 0.1 and move stop loss to break even. This part that says full TP at 0.15 is something I'm working on still. I just started like forward testing couple of weeks ago, so I'm trying to
Okay.
to
So real quick, explain to me the whole reason of when do you move stop loss to break even, and where is the data to support that, and why? Because the data that you just showed me, did you move the stop loss to break even? Like, obviously not, because that was a measured move.
No, I didn't. That's just out of cowardness.
Okay. So listen, I want you to think about this, right? Like, so Austin just posted his January month, right? Right. His month of January. And he trades a very similar strategy to you. He does that 930 using the 930 candle. He's not the 1300 using the 05 bucks. But obviously the concept's the same, right? So Austin, right, risk between 400 and 600 risk per trade. He gives himself 3 attempts, right? Now imagine every single time Austin wanted to moved his stop loss to break even, those numbers would not be the same. And if you start allowing cowardness into your trading, you're never going to launch, right?
Okay.
Like, remember, people who make money in the markets are the ones who are taking risks that others are afraid to take, kind of, right? You moving your stop to break even, there's a style of trading that's appropriate, right? But now we're mixing styles of trading without data to prove why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're too scared to lose the $400, you're never going to be able to maintain your emotions every time the price goes against you. So we need to do either two things. We need to reduce our risk per trade so that stop is smaller where you can emotionally handle it, right? Or we need to leave it alone because the data showed that it works, right?
Yes.
All right, Austin, I'm going to pass this off to Austin because this one, so what you're doing is you're saying, hey, all this stuff that keeps me FOMO trading, all this stuff that keeps emotions in trading, I'm inviting you into my trade plan. When you do that right there, that's like moving stop to break even just because I'm scared, right? You're not letting your data breathe. I'm going to pass this to Austin. This is going to feel rough. Listen, you have done an amazing job, and I don't want you to have a bad evening and you broke your rules, you blew your first funded account, then you got, sternly talking to by me. Like, that's not, number one, my intent and my angle is this. Like, that's a red flag to me, right? My angle is to make you feel that that's a red flag. And you either collect the data that supports the stop loss or you remove that out of your trade plan and you deal with the uncomfortableness of $400 could be stopped out and see your
I'll do that
through,
because my back tested didn't imply to move my stop loss, so
exactly.
I just need to grow some balls.
And now Austin is going to tell you why you don't do that. Austin, you're up, bud.
Okay.
All right, so break even, moving stops to break even, right? Obviously, Mick talked about the stat part, and you said it very, 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 very good. And honestly, I don't have to go super detailed into it. And that's, you said you don't. It's just fear, right? So when we look at this market and we think that this market is so scary, this market is against us, this market is evil, right? We're making the problem super big. But when you tell me it's fear, I'm actually glad, right? Because now we know that the problem is very easy to fix. If I were to ask you, Ape, how do I lose weight? What would you tell me?
Sorry?
If I were to ask you, Ape, I need to lose weight, what would you tell me?
Eat healthier and do exercise.
Did you have to go to college to know that?
No.
Did you have to get a degree? No, man. So if I were to ask you, how do you overcome the fear of taking a trade, watching the trade go in your favor, coming back to your entry, and then going back to your TP, then back to your how do you overcome that?
Just I don't know, let the price do its things and just watch
experience it. Just experience it. Experience it.
Yeah.
Fear
Repetition.
fear. That little thing in the back of your mind is only because you've not allowed yourself to experience it. The only thing you've allowed yourself to experience is succumbing to being fearful and therefore acting on that fearful emotion, which is survival. We are wired to be survival people because that's the whole thing called homeostasis that keeps us alive, right? We are programmed as human beings because that's how every animal in the world is programmed to do. It's to survive. It's to live. It is the one thing that kills people as a day trader because we have to go against that opposite feeling. We do not become profitable from winning. We become profitable from managing risk and sticking to our edge. So when you tell me I'm moving my stop to break even because of fear or because I'm scared of this going back on me and hitting stops, you're never going to know what it's like to even have the other side of watching a trade play out because you're not giving yourself that experience. You're robbing yourself that experience. Now back to the technicality part, you are robbing yourself of expectancy. the thing, and this is the big irony in a lot of trading, is we think that moving stops to break even is keeping us from losing, but long term the math shows us otherwise. It shows us that it's robbing yourself of positive expectancy, because everybody here can agree and relate that if you are one of the people that move stops to break even, how many times have you watched a trade go to your to hit your stop loss and break even just to go to your target? And even if that happens, think about this like this. If you're shooting for a target that is, let's say, 20 points, 10 basis points, and you move stops to break even, and then it goes to that 10 basis points, I want you to multiply that 10 basis points times 5, and you're giving away about 10, so 50 basis points every 10 trades, and so then that multiplies into, out of every 10 trades, 5 of those are going to get wicked out because you're moving stops to break even. Now, 5 times 10, that's 50. So, you know what I mean? Like that's a ripple effect. And everything you do in
Yes.
that one single trade is going to be compounded times 100. And if you don't know the data and the numbers to back up that, okay, if I can't clearly define that when price goes in my favor, 10 points, 10 basis points, 20, whatever, and then I move stops to break even, and I know when I move stops to break even, that's going to give me X probability. If you don't know none of that, if you can't define logic behind your actions, it's not needed. It's just fear. It's just emotion.
And
all right.
so the cool thing is like you have a whole room over on the back side of the house, right? You have a whole
100%.
room that has dealt with exactly what you're dealing with. Like I'm looking across the board from people in previous boot camps that did the same thing, or that wouldn't take the trade for whatever reason, and they missed the time that it worked, and they just destroyed all of their expectancy and probabilities and all that, right? And now they've put themselves in a consecutive loss period or a flat period, right? And like I encourage you, right? I encourage you, because we start a new boot camp next week, right? I would say at 1300, man, go over to the pack side, right? Go over to the pack side and like work on this plan with the team, right? Like the one best thing, like people who have positive intent, people, you can tell the difference between people who want to help you, right? And already multiple times in this conversation, I've seen the fear part of losing trades. And what did I say? The most important lesson a trader learns is how to go through consecutive losses and end up the quarter positive. All right. So I would encourage you, like, as you do your trade plan, go over to the pack side, jump on the room and live trade this in front of the pack and let them help you. Like, show them the numbers, like make this a team effort, like, because like you've got a whole team of people who want you to win. They're going to help you sustain the drawdown. And at the end of the day, right? Like because you have these red flags flaring off, the worst thing you can do is try to trade by yourself. So who's your ranger buddy? At the very minimum, who's your ranger buddy?
Yeah, my ranger buddy is this guy JD is his name, but he has had some personal issues and he couldn't. He has his son in the hospital, I think,
Okay.
and he hasn't had the time to work through it.
Yep. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get you a new ranger buddy who's been through the boot camp, right? And then as you start trading this, right, like I want you to jump in. Which channel is for the pack only?
That's the hunt one, the hunt VC.
All right, so you're going to go into the hunt every time you want to take this trade plan, right? You're going to share a screen, you're going to show execution, and you're going to trade in front of people, right? And it doesn't matter if you win or you lose, nobody cares, but you are going to stick to your plans, right? And that way, like, we can help you get through this fear-based curse that you're dealing with together, right? Because like that's what we're here for, right? All right, keep going.
I want to add one additional thing to this, Ape, is to what Mickey said with the size thing. So I have this little thing called the 1-2. All right, 1-2 punch. We're gonna call it the 1-2 punch. If we're all scared of size, how do we, again, going back to the stupid simple solutions, if we are fat, we eat healthy and go to the gym. It does not take anything correct. A lot of problems that we face can be solved in the most simplest solutions. We just try to think they're complex. If my biggest worry is size, here's the thing. 1, 2. All right. 1 micro for cash flow, 1 micro for extended. Do that. I challenge anybody to do this. If you struggle with sitting here, letting trades go and do whatever, you got to focus on technique. The technique is going to beat that fear out of you. So, is Dell in here? I had Dell do this for 3 weeks. Dell's in the audience. Let Dell tell everybody. I told Dell for 3 weeks, don't take a single trade and just war game your edge. Post in the war game channel exactly the trades you would take, but do not trade. And why are you going to do that? Because in a week, you're going to be begging to take a trade and pissed off that you can't because you're now seeing the market so clearly. Why? Because you're focused on technique. You are focused, and you are literally going to be sitting here being like, dude, I called this, and it's going to happen over and over again. And then that level of being annoyed because you called the move and because you've now seen the move so many times, when it comes time to execute, you're going to be like, all right, thank God. And now guess what you can do? You can just have 2 micros. Give yourself a 2 micro budget. 1 micro for cash flow targets. And if you are shooting for extended targets, 1 micro for extend. I promise you, you're not going to be scared at 2 micros. That's the lowest risk you can go. You can't go any lower than that. So
Yes.
practice, like, you're not going to get rich. This whole thing, you're not going to get rich tomorrow, right? You're Ape. If you didn't trade for a single day for the next month versus what you're doing now, would that change your life? Would that
Not at all.
negatively impact the cash flow of your life?
No, not at all.
Because like you're such a young trader that like if you start reinforcing bad behavior, I know everybody wants to say work harder, but like the work has to be correct. Because if not, if you're working harder, but if like your work is tainted with toxicity, right? You're literally destroying your brain and your decision making. Just like a man who watches, just like a man who watches pornography is destroying the intimacy between him and his wife, right? Like you don't want to do that, right? That's a no-go, right? So like I need somebody from the audience to volunteer who's been through the boot camp. We need to get this guy a ranger buddy. Somebody let me know who's going to take this serious, and let's get him a ranger buddy and get this going. All right, let's keep going through the plan. Somebody will volunteer, and if not, I'll volunteer with somebody, and we'll go that way. All right. Let's see what the rest of your plan
cool.
is.
Okay, and these were my assumptions and constraints. MAE and MFE were measured until 15. My cutoff time will be 1500. I don't want to go over there just because I have a pretty busy schedule with my work, and I don't have the time to check on my trades. Also, I realized and I noted that after 15, the price has more volatility and can go either way as well. Well, as I mentioned before, no entry if price breaks. This is not 10%, it's 0.1%. Just a typo there. And as I explained, if price breaks 0.1%, I wait for it to return to the 05 range and enter on a new breakout. So entry must have a context. No entries after 13:45 and 2 entries per day as a cap. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. I'm going to bring up somebody, and this is going to be your accountability partner, right? And he knows your plan now, and he knows the contract that you made with yourself. Because remember, like whether it's trading, whether it's just saying I'm going to like do this, like whatever you say you're going to do, right? It's okay. You need accountability, right? It's a must.
Yes.
Right. So this is Alpha Prophet, and he's going to be your accountability buddy if you can't trade in the hunt because Austin's doing a sergeant assignment or somebody's doing back testing, right? Like you're going to jump on a call with him, or you're going to make sure that you get his permission to trade, right? You're going to say, hey,
okay,
I set up there. This is what I'm seeing, right? I'm going to place a trade here. And he's going to say,
okay. Yeah, I
and
got
then you're gonna
you.
walk them
We
through
make a
every
little
single
group. Yeah.
part of it. There you go. All right, what is the way
Again,
ahead?
Alex.
The way ahead is this, right? Like continue
Use-
to practice. Continue to practice. Right? I don't want you shifting new stuff into your plan. I don't want you like finding new edge or confluences or anything whatsoever. Right? All I want you to do is stick to the plan that you came up here and if you had that
Yeah, stick to it.
you had the hard part already. The hard part, believe it or not, you already did. Right? You did it. Like you collected the data. Right now, you're going to do the even harder part, and you're going to stick to it. Right. So, with that being
Yes.
said, dude, I'm betting on you in 2026. Right. Listen, man. Like this was a great presentation. Right. Like I was able to identify some flaws, but that's the whole point of doing this. Right. Let me tell you, life blesses you when you're honest and transparent. When you're genuine. Period. Right. And you were genuine with your intent and what you were going to do, and we were able to capture it. And so now we're going to help you because you probably would have went down a pretty crappy road if you weren't, right? So the universe is answering, like the universe is long on you as well, because you came up here, you said I blew my account today because you didn't follow my rules, and like twice in the presentation we saw stuff that would have been huge red flags if we had let you keep going. So listen, man, great job, great presentation. I give you the plan of action going forward. I'll talk to Alex about I'll keep up with you through Alex because I talk to him frequently, and like we're gonna get after it this year. Austin, you got anything with him?
Oh man, like I love the idea, and I would completely agree. Like Ape, if you want to take the challenge now, like we try to tell anybody here, do not feel like what we're trying to tell anybody is a chore, because it's not. Like we are genuinely trying to tell you, like this is the feedback that I would do if I was in that situation, but you can do it or not. But I really like the idea of you just coming up at 1300 and sharing your screen. Because listen, I know the scariness of sharing your screen and saying this is where I'm going to take a trade, but I promise you guys, the market doesn't care if you're by yourself or you're sharing your screen. And the best part is, if you're sharing your screen, you ain't gonna do stupid stuff, right? So, if at the very least, dude, I want to see you consistently do this for a month, and I promise you, you sit there for a month. I'm not gonna say you're gonna be profitable or rich or anything like that. I promise you, though, you're gonna have a level of accountability and a level of confidence about yourself that you're just not gonna get doing it in the dark.
And he will give you a million kisses. A million.
And you got Alex, dude. Alex is freaking dope. He's definitely gonna, if he's gonna be your battle buddy, your ranger buddy, he's gonna.
And
do it.
also, I'm giving Spanish classes for free, but he already knows Spanish, so ya te puedo hablar en español también.
Por supuesto.
So I got you. I got your six.
Sounds good.
Well,
All right.
thank you very
All
much, guys. I really appreciate this.
No, thank you for putting the work in, man. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for you, man. How do you say fucking Spanish?
There's so many variations, but I'll let him.
Yeah. No, but I mean, where I'm from, we don't say fuck. We say, I don't know, like, coño de la madre.
Wait, what?
It's like, yeah, it's like, we say coño, but we, add some other words to make it stronger.
We say alpha profit. Shut up. All right, man. Let's end it. Have a good night.
Oh my
see you out there tomorrow.
Guys, y'all crazy people, get out here. Stay grinding on your freaking goals. Tomorrow is the boot camp graduation.
Wait.
It's
One
not tomorrow.
sec. One
It's not
sec.
tomorrow.
One
Today
sec.
is not tomorrow. Wait, is today Thursday?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
No, the graduation is
no.
on Friday. We need to talk about we need to run through the
You
rehearsal.
told me Thursday this whole week.
No, I've said Friday. Okay. Everybody in the pack, did I say Thursday or Friday was the graduation?
This
Tomorrow
man
we
said
got it.
Thursday.
Friday.
They all
What?
definitely said Friday.
Oh, you guys that. Oh no. Oh.
Right. Well, he starts. It's the new boot camp starts Saturday, right?
Oh
Yo.
man.
We got Surge coming up tomorrow. We can't be blowing Sergi's playing off.
Dude, how did I this entire week think boot camp graduation was tomorrow? All right, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Josh has a question. Josh, save the question for tomorrow. Stay grinding on your freaking goals. Remember that tomorrow's Thursday, not boot camp graduation. That's Friday. And never, ever, ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something they never done themselves, or let Josh ask a question. I'll see y'all later.
Later, hippies.